Okay, this is part 2 of the notes for graphing with slope and y-intercept, and we were just right here saying step 2.5. So step 2.5 is the predict step. Predict what this line is going to look like just by looking at it. Well, the first thing you could predict is the y-intercept. Where is it going to cross the y-axis? It's going to cross at 2, or you could write it as a coordinate 0, 2. So it's going to cross in the top half of this coordinate plane up here. And then is it going to go up or down? Well, how do you decide? You look at the slope. Is that a positive or a negative number? It's a negative number, so it's going to go down when you read it left to right. Is it going to be steep or not steep? It's going to be steep because the absolute value of -4 is 4, which is much bigger than 1. So this guy is going to look something like this, I think. This is my prediction. So let's go through now and do it and see if we're right on our prediction. So step 3 is to plot the point that corresponds to the y-intercept, which is 0, 2. So he's right there. And then step 4 is to use the slope to locate a second point or even more points. So the rise over the run is -4 over 1. So which way from my y-intercept, my B, my beginning, which way is -4? It's down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go 1 in the run. Which way is a +1 in the x direction? It's to the right 1. So there we go. It's right there on our coordinate plane. I can't fit any more points on there. I'm going to use my ruler, connect my line, get my arrows. It goes across the whole nice line there. That's it. Look at how quick and easy that is. It's like amazing compared to what we were doing before. Go ahead and pause the video and do the checkpoint right underneath. You're going to have to get y by itself first. Okay, so you got y by itself, and you should have had the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 1 when you did that, okay? Because we added a half to both sides. Then you identified your m and your b. The m was 1/2. The b was 1, and then you gave a prediction. I said it's not going to be steep because the absolute value of a half is less than 1, so it's not going to be as steep as a 45-degree angle. And the y-intercept is 1, so it's going to cross up here, and it's going up because that 1/2 was a positive. So here's my first point at 0, 1. And then I went up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. I don't have to keep going if I don't want to. And then remember I said that could be the same as -1 over -2 if you didn't have enough room to get it on there. Sorry. So here's my graph right there. See, Mrs. Wyman, if you're still a little confused about this concept. Okay, example 3. Determine which of the lines are parallel. Now, parallel means they're going on forever and ever, and they're never going to touch. So you can kind of see who looks like they're parallel. But we want to learn something about this so that we don't have to graph them every time. We want to be able to look at their slopes and figure it out. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is we are going to write the ordered pairs for each line. So line A is right here. This is line A. I'm just highlighting it. And the points that they have for line A, if you look and you write them out, they are 4, 3, and -2, -3. That was that guy right there and this guy right here. Okay? So plugging them in, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, I end up with -6 over -6, which equals 1. Okay, now we'll do the same thing. We're going to find the slope of line B. Line B is right here. They've picked 2 points to look at. I've written the ordered pairs for those points out, which are 2, 4, and -4, -2. So plugging it in, it would be a -2 minus 4 for y2 minus y1. And it would be -4 minus 2. Well, what's that equal? -6 over -6. Oh, 1. Are you noticing anything? Do those guys look parallel up there? What'd you notice about their slope? Okay, well, let's look at the third guy, line C. Here are his 2 points. They are -6, -2, and -3, negative 5. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 gets us to negative 7 over negative 9. It's close to 1, but 7/9 is not 1. So what did you notice? Who had the same slope? Line A and B had the same slope, and they're the guys who are parallel. So remember in our notes at the beginning, we were going to write something in about parallel lines. So go back there right now. If I have two parallel lines, the slope is the same. Parallel lines have the same slope. Okay? So look down here at checkpoint C. It says which ones are parallel? No graphs. So you're going to use the formula for slope to find out what the slopes are to help you determine who's parallel. Go ahead and pause and do that. Okay, here's my work. Line A was 3/4 for its slope. Line B was 5/7. Line C was 3/4. Who's parallel? A and C this time because their slope is 3/4. So if I graphed them out, those would be two lines that would never ever touch. All right. Saved by the phone ring, right? Okay, so you're done with notes now on slope and y-intercept. I hope that you're able to graph using slope and y-intercept. You're going to go on to the giraffe worksheet here. The top part is just practicing getting y by itself, and you're going to match it up down there. Your work will be on the other sheet of paper. The bottom part, you have to get y by itself, then identify m and b, and graph it. When you graph it, it's going to touch one of the letters on the outside, and that's how you're going to fill in the bottom part down there. See Mrs. Wyman if you have any questions. Great job, guys.